never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life have I seen the sky light up like this. I'm far away from Earth and I wanna know if you exist. Mission control, do you read me? Send me my coordinates lately. Mission control, am I drifting? Tie me to someone who will love me, yeah. Wait, I think I'll last a bit longer. Find another.
Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to another Ref Brandon and the Todd family YouTube video. Wherever you are, whatever you may be doing, thank you so much for making Ref Brandon and the Todd family a part of your day. We always greatly appreciate it. Yesterday was July the 26th, which was significant because that meant that college football was exactly 1 month away since week 0 comes our way on Saturday, August 26th. So now college football is less than 1 month away. But today, here on the channel, I've got a big, huge question for all of you college football fans out there. I'm going to ask you that question coming up here in a few minutes, and it's not just for college football fans, but it's mainly college football fans. But first, let's talk about the Braves. The Braves right now are struggling. Right before the All-Star break, they were playing phenomenal baseball. They were on pace to win, I believe, 109 games, but it looks like the All-Star break was the worst thing for the Braves, because since the All-Star break, they lost 2 out of 3 to the pitiful White Sox, 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks, and then after last night's game, they lost both games in a 2-game series with the Red Sox. The only series they've won since the All-Star break was last weekend when they took 2 of 3 from the Milwaukee Brewers. This is a short week because they were off Monday, they're off today, and then the Brewers series kicks off in Atlanta tomorrow night. But I told somebody at work on Tuesday before the 2-game set with the Red Sox that the Braves were sitting at 64 and 34, and they could play 500 ball the rest of the year and finish 96 and 66 and still win the division by at least 6 games, because I don't think anybody else in the division is going to win more than 90 games. But it would suck to be on pace to win 109 games and then all of a sudden only win 96. But this is what makes baseball the best sport there is, because you just aren't going to play great baseball for 160 games over a 6-month period. You're going to have a stretch where you win 10 of 12, and then there'll be a stretch where you'll lose 10 of 15, because it's baseball. Now, of course, the trade deadline is coming up early next week. A lot of people think the Braves are going to make some trades. They've already made a couple of small ones. They might still make a couple more small ones, but I don't think they're going to make any big ones, because I know, looking at the bullpen, you've got A.J. Minter out hurt, Jesse Chavez out hurt, Nick Anderson out hurt, but none of those guys are going to be out for the year. They're going to be back in a couple of weeks. You really don't want to trade a bunch of players to get a pitcher that you only need for 2 or 3 weeks. Now, Kyle Wright supposedly is not going to be back until September, so you might as well say he's out for the year. But if all goes as planned, Max Fried will be back sometime next week. If not next week, the week after. But the Braves right now remind me of that old coach back in the day. He did an interview and he said, well, right now, our fielders aren't fielding well. Our pitchers aren't pitching well. Our hitters aren't hitting well. And our fans aren't fanning well. And that's how the Braves are playing right now. The hitting is terrible. The pitching is terrible. The fielding is terrible. So right now they're just struggling. But when this ends, they'll go through a stretch. Well, they'll win 10 of 12 or 10 of 13 or something like that and be going through another hot streak. But they are definitely struggling right now. Now let's talk some NASCAR. Only 5 more races left in the regular season before we kick off the chase for the Cup. And you can always tell when the NASCAR playoffs are about to start because the NASCAR playoffs start in September. So about the time college football starts, NASCAR is starting their playoffs. This past Sunday we had the Pocono 400. Denny Hamlin won, and I believe it was his 7th career win at Pocono. He's the all-time leader in wins at that racetrack. I can recall loving Pocono when I was growing up because it's the only track that only has 3 turns, and on the long straightaway they even have paint on the turn on the wall that says what turn 4 because they only have 3 turns. But it was a 500-mile race, and there were years where it would get long, drug out. You wouldn't see caution flags, and the leader would run away with it, and they would just turn laps. Well, a few years back, they dropped Pocono from 500 miles down to 400 miles, and ever since that happened, Pocono's had some phenomenal races. This past Sunday, no exception. I believe the first wreck was on lap 2, and then there was pretty much wrecks on a regular basis the rest of the race. Tyler Reddick came home second, followed by Martin Truex Jr., Kevin Harvick, and Ty Gibbs. 6 through 10 was Christopher Bell, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Harrison Burton, Eric Jones, and Chase Elliott rounded out the top 10. Martin Truex Jr. is still the regular season points leader, which would give him an additional 25 bonus points when the playoffs start. This Sunday, back in action, 3 o'clock on USA, it is the Federated Auto Parts 400 from Richmond. Of course, that is in Virginia. But now my question, and as I said, it's for college football fans, mainly because it seems like college football fans are the unhappiest of all the sports fans. And it got me to thinking, and I've mentioned this before here on the channel, but if we enjoy our hobbies, and we do our hobbies because we enjoy them, and watching football is a hobby, why do so many people hate it? And what I mean by that, let me explain, is whatever your hobby is, if you like to fish, you go fish because you enjoy it. You don't wake up on the day you're going to go fish and say, man, you know, to be honest with you, I'd rather just stay in the bed. I don't want to go fishing today. Don't want to get up. Don't want to put no clothes on. Don't want to get my rod out. Don't want to get in the truck. I think I'll just stay in the bed. We don't do that. We get up and we go fishing because we enjoy fishing. If you like to hunt, you get up early when it's cold outside and you go hunt because you enjoy hunting. If you're a video game player in your spare time, you play video games, you do it because you enjoy them. Well, college football is the same way. We don't have to watch college football. We don't get paid to watch college football. It's something we do because we enjoy it. So if we enjoy it, then why are 90% of college football fans always unhappy. And everybody knows by now that here on this channel I always talk about positivity and being positive and not being so negative. And I've mentioned numerous times here on the channel that as much as I love sports, I don't talk about it one-on-one with a lot of people because they're so negative. And I can't listen to much sports talk on the radio because people are so negative. And it seems like it's mainly the college football fans. The college football season will start and somebody's team will play a game and they'll win the game 34-21. Well, you listen to the radio the following Monday morning, and all of the fans of that team will call in the radio station and they'll say, why didn't we run the ball more? Why didn't we use our tight end more? Why don't we go for it on this play? Why was so-and-so not in the game? And instead of enjoying the win and finding joy in the win, we want to point out all the things we did wrong. Why? Why can't we just enjoy our team winning? Who cares what they did wrong? We're humans. We're going to make mistakes. But if you can't find joy in winning, why watch the game? It's the coach's job to watch the film and find things that are wrong, because if the coaches don't point out the things that are wrong because you won the game, then you're never going to get better unless you lose every game you play. So the coaches are going to find fault in every game because that's their job. But we're not coaches. We're fans. Why do we have to question everything that goes wrong? Why can't we just sit back and enjoy the fact that our team won? Now, if your team loses and you want to walk around and say, hey, we're never going to win another game, we suck, we're awful, we're terrible, fire the whole team, fire all the coaches, fire the broadcasters, fire the fans, tear down the stadium, I get that. You're upset. You lost the game. But why point out the flaws when you win? Why not just find joy in the winning and be happy because you won? Who cares if you didn't run the ball enough? Who cares if the tight end got left out? Who cares if it was 4th and 1 and you went for it instead of punting? Who cares? You won the game. If you're going to complain because your team is winning, you might as well not watch it, because watching football is a hobby. It's something we do on Saturdays if we have time because we love college football. Now, I know a lot of people that don't get to watch a lot of the games, including myself, because of wrestling, because wrestling is a passion of mine. But I always record every game Clemson plays, and then typically I always look through the Saturday slate and I'll find 1 or 2 other games that I think are going to be good games, and I'll record them and watch them, later on the next week. But because of wrestling, I can't sit home every Saturday from noon until 2 o'clock Sunday morning watching football. But I enjoy watching it when I can. But I know a lot of people that don't get to watch it a lot because of family priorities, or maybe the job they have to work on some Saturdays. So when they get a chance to watch it, they watch it. And that's what we should do, because we love to watch it. But if all you're going to do is gripe and groan and moan and complain, even if your team wins, just stop watching, because the joy is in the winning. Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney's always said, the more you win, the funner it is. The joy is in the winning. But if you can't get joy in the winning, then you might as well just stop watching. And I know there are fans that do this in baseball and basketball and hockey and lacrosse and field hockey and water polo and gymnastics and volleyball, but it does seem like the college football fans are the worst about just having to call out every single thing their team done wrong. Who cares if the quarterback had 500 passing yards? We should have ran the ball more. Who cares if one receiver had 300 receiving yards? So-and-so got left out. Stop doing that. Just enjoy the game. So my question is, if we do our hobby, whatever our hobby is, because we enjoy it, and we watch football because we enjoy it, why can't we just enjoy it? Any thoughts on any of this, please feel free to let me no. Homes for Our Troops is a publicly funded 501c nonprofit organization that builds and donates specially adapted custom homes nationwide for severely injured post 9/11 veterans. Since the 2004 inception, nearly 90 cents of every dollar spent has gone directly to our program services for veterans. Visit at hfotusa.org. Let's go ahead and get our dad joke of the day in here. Have you ever tried to catch fog? I tried yesterday, but I missed. And that does it for today's Ref Brandon and the Todd Family YouTube video. Until next time, it's Ref Brandon saying, just like in pro wrestling, life can be over by the count of 3. Tell your friends and family how much you love them. Bye.